Hello and welcome back to the Grapple Theory podcast. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Now, for today's special guest, we're traveling all the way up to Leeds to meet with a woman who's really putting in a huge amount of hard graft to try and make a name for herself on the British wrestling scene. You'll know her if you're a regular at Tidal Wrestling. That's where she often frequents. She's just started wrestling for North as well. Hopefully we're going to see her a lot there. Down in the south, you might know her from being on Eve occasionally as well. She's a real talent. She's one of the UK's real rising stars, and she's really working hard to climb that ladder. I'm going to talk about how she's managing to do that, you know, mixing it in with her shoot job as well. We're going to talk to her about the North wrestling scene. We're going to talk to her about life in Leeds. We're going to talk to her about life at Tidal, as well as the food that she loves there as well. Apparently Tidal have great food, so shout out Tidal. We'll talk loads about that. Also about Pursuit Wrestling and working with Liam Slater, and loads more. You're in for a real treat. A real TV and film themed podcast today. Delighted to welcome to the show Natalie Sykes. Natalie, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Talk to me about, I guess, like the last year for you in wrestling, how it's been, and I guess your development.
I mean, for me, I've kind of dipped a little bit, whereas I haven't been really consistent with wrestling due to like personal reasons. So in terms of wrestling, I'm still having fun, still enjoying it, but maybe not as active as I would like. But that being said, for the stuff that I've come on with in my personal life, I'm way busier, looking to be like on the right sort of career path, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's really cool. No, and that's important as well, isn't it? I think we talk to a lot of wrestlers, and I think the thing that comes up most is the importance of striking that like wrestling plus outside life balance and making sure you're prioritizing what you need to at certain points.
Yeah, definitely. It can be quite tough, and I'm sort of trying to find the balance myself, but it looks like I'm coming to that kind of balance and looking to move forward with what I've got going on right now.
Nice, that's cool, that's awesome. We were talking about it a little bit off recording as well, but talk to us about what you have going on like in your sort of like shoot job and stuff, because it sounds really cool working in TV and things like that. And like we spoke about, it sort of is something that can help in terms of like wrestling as well.
Yeah, so at the minute, I'm kind of a behind-the-scenes person in the film and television industry. So I've been working a lot with kind of big channels such as like the BBC and Channel 4 to help create TV shows, which is really fun and something that alongside wrestling I've wanted to do for a while. So to see that kind of picking up is really nice. So I'm kind of glad that I've been able to make it sort of like a consistent career. So that's really exciting.
Nice, yeah, because you're a film grad as well, aren't you?
Yes, I went to university and studied film and television, and I graduated last year. So yeah.
Brilliant, congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, so where did that sort of like passion for TV and film come from, and was it something you'd like known from like a younger age you wanted to do in terms of as a career?
I want to say yeah, mainly because I remember as a kid, it was so stupid, like taking like stop motion videos and like editing them on like Movie Maker, or like filming music videos with my friend. I'd always really enjoyed stuff like that. They were all probably terrible. If I look back on them now, they're probably very terrible. But I've always had a passion for storytelling, making content, and like being really creative. I think that has come from quite a young age.
And has it like sort of I guess as someone as well who like has always wanted to work in TV and has that opportunity myself, like is it something that I guess has lived up to your expectations of what you wanted or what you hoped it would be?
There's definitely humble beginnings.
Yeah.
It is very enjoyable. It is definitely an enjoyable environment, especially for someone like me who likes to keep busy or like needs a reason to keep busy. It is very helpful on that kind of front.
Yeah, it is a tough industry though, isn't it? Like in terms of like the work you've got to put in to climb that ladder, it's a grind.
Yeah, but hopefully it'll be pretty rewarding. So yeah,
No, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. And we talk about that grind as well, and that's similar to wrestling as well in terms of the fact you got to put in that grind to sort of get where you want to be in the ring as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like because they're both so like challenging industries that you have to put a lot of effort in. I think going back to the kind of work-life balance, it can make it really difficult because you want to put your all into one of them to see if you can like succeed quicker, but you have to truly like find this balance to put your effort into both of them at the same time and try and make it work.
Yeah. Have you had any sort of like, I guess, career highlights at the minute, like out the ring or in like your shoot job? Have you had any like moments where you thought like, oh fuck, this is like cool as hell?
Yeah, like every time you see your name in the credits and you're like, like that's pretty cool no matter like what it is. But I've managed to work with some really cool people, including like off-screen talent. I've worked with some really talented people, and then people on screen. I recently was in Media City, and they have like loads of studios there. And I didn't work with them, unfortunately, but Richard Iowadi was in the building, and I was very excited about that.
Yeah, I love Richard Iowadi. Legend. He's such a legend.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. And again, that sort of thing we were talking about again off camera as well, where it's sort of thing where like you see a lot of wrestlers involved in like film and TV and things like that. And it's something that I guess like even whether you're behind the camera or in front of the camera, it can help your wrestling character because you learn things. You can pick things up from actors or from acting yourself, like that you can then take into the ring, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think maybe it was Liam Slater who told me that kind of the best way to pick up mannerisms and like put that into your in-ring character and like the mannerisms you would use to kind of perform in the ring. Just watch your favorite characters, watch your favorite TV shows, watch your favorite films, and see what they do in these kind of situations and how they act and feelings towards other characters, and then you just kind of transfer that into the ring. And I think that really helped me kind of understand what I was looking for and what I needed to bring to my like in-ring character.
Yeah. For sure. Well, we've got a few like fun features later on that will get into like favorite films and TV shows later, so we'll save that for later, and that'll be nice. But like leading on to, we mentioned Liam off screen as well, and talked about Pursuit as well. Talk to me about sort of how long you've been training with them and the work that Liam does, because we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. So we spoke to him, and he's obviously so passionate about Pursuit and teaching people about wrestling and sort of building that next generation of growing British indie stars. And we had Commander Stephanie Sterling on recently as well, talking about Liam and the way he teaches. So how have you found it, like sort of like working under him and the way he teaches, the way he goes about things?
So I've actually known Liam since I like started training. Like I'm pretty sure he was at my first training session, I think. And just from then, you did kind of realize that he was a very kind of compassionate, like he is like a teacher through and through, like he destined to be like a teacher, because he would take the time with people and explain it and show them and kind of give everyone the time of day, which like not a lot of people do really. He gives everyone the time of day, and just he's so passionate about kind of making sure people understand and pushing people and motivating people, and he has loads of knowledge, and he passing that down, and you can tell that he is so passionate about wrestling when he is like kind of passing down this knowledge.
And it must be really cool as well to, I guess, learn from someone who is that passionate, who's someone who I guess is teaching you stuff. Stephanie Sterling said as well, like he wouldn't teach you anything that he wouldn't expect himself to do as well. Like he's going to push you, but he's also going to make sure it's stuff that he wouldn't be afraid to try either.
Yeah. So like since Pursuit opened up, and like Pursuit is incredible, and I'm so glad they opened up, because there's like a lovely little community going on down there, and it's just such a nice supporting environment, while also like putting in the hard work, but also not being too hard to kind of discourage people. So when we do drills and warm-up spots and stuff like that, Liam's always in there. Liam's always doing them. He's setting the example. He's putting in the graphic himself. And I know a lot of trainers at a lot of schools do that now, but I have been to training schools where that hasn't always been the case. Not that that's a bad thing, but Liam, yeah, he's very good at kind of matching people's energies and like understanding every single trainee's kind of dreams, aspirations, like what they want to experiment with character. He will take the time to like research each person and give everyone the time of day and show people stuff that he thinks would benefit them. Like every time he's watching wrestling, I imagine he is going, that'd be really cool for this person. That'd be like he's so good for that.
Yeah. And can you sort of go to him with ideas as well and be like, I want to try this, and he'll like let you know what he thinks?
Yeah, like definitely. I've gone to him a couple of times, even being like, I don't know what to do, and he's like, here, look at all this stuff that I have that would work perfectly for you, or kind of inspiration I think you should look into. But then if I bring him ideas, he will like be able to take it from like this level and like elevate it. Just because with all his knowledge and stuff, he knows kind of what works and what doesn't, and how to pad things out to make a bigger moment and a bigger spectacle out of something I want to do. And I do kind of owe a lot of my character to Liam.
Yeah, for sure, which is great. Big up Liam. He does great work. Yeah, he does great work.
Great.
And what about yourself, like in the ring? I know a couple of months ago, I think it was, you tweeted out the fact that I think you were saying about like you're not wanting to be like a background character in wrestling anymore, and you want to sort of like push forward and become that sort of main character in the story that is British independent wrestling.
Yeah, I do feel a lot like I am just kind of like someone, and they're wrestling Natalie Sykes. And like, I don't want to feel like that because, like I'm Natalie Sykes. Like, I should be a big focal point. Truthfully, and obviously life gets in the way, I have been feeling a bit like a background character because I haven't been being very active in wrestling due to personal stuff and work. But now, like, moving on for the rest of the year, like, I am coming for that main character spot. Don't worry about it.
I was going to say, what are we going to expect for the rest of the year? That's something we generally ask, moving forward the next sort of 6-12 months, if we're talking, this time next year, what would you have wanted to achieve? I know personally, it'd be great to see some more gold around your waist. I think that'd be fantastic. Yeah. I'm sure you want that as well.
I definitely want that.
But like, what other goals have you got in mind? Any places you want to work, or people you'd want to face, or just generally, where you want to be on that wrestling ladder, say in the next year?
I definitely want to be having the breakout year that I kind of imagined, maybe from now or like next year. I've had a taste of a North audience, and I would like more. I would like to wrestle more at North. I would like to wrestle more in the South. I have a list of promotions. I'm working my way through it, and hopefully some opportunities come from that. I'm just going to graft and, hope things come for it.
For sure, and hopefully they do, and we'd love to see that. We'd love to see that, especially as someone who's London-based. It'd be great to see you down south more. I know that obviously you've made the odd appearance at Eve and places like that as well. But talk to me, because we spoke to a few people about this sort of like north-south divide in British wrestling. Do you feel like it's tricky, someone who's based up in the north to get those sort of southern bookings, just because it's a bit more difficult, I guess, in terms of travel, or you might have to pay for like accommodation, things like that, to get those bookings at other promotions, get yourself out of that northern bubble, I guess?
Yeah, kind of. I feel like it is starting to kind of blur at the minute, which is nice to see. Like, a lot of northern talent is, they're turning up down south, and there have been a couple of southerners peeping up north, which is nice to see, because it's always nice to see new people, wrestle new people. But yeah, it is definitely hard, just because like, and I totally understand, like, promoters want to keep their costs pretty low, and especially with petrol nowadays, like driving to London is probably so expensive. But yeah, it is starting to blur, I think, which is good to see. So hopefully that means that we can go explore the South sometime soon.
That's what we want. Do you have like a bucket list of sort of like names you want to face as well? People we'd love to see Natalie Sykes beat up.
Oh yeah, I'm a proper clout chaser, so anyone who's kind of popular at the moment would love to wrestle them. That'd be nice.
Just whoever's in that main event you want.
Absolutely, yeah. Whoever's the best right now, give them to me so I can like take pictures with them and post it on the internet. Like
all for the likes, isn't it? It's all for the likes.
All for the likes, I guarantee.
And that's how you get in that profile. That's how you get in that main event, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it works. Yeah, for sure. Brilliant. Well, we talked a bit about your work in like TV and film as well. So I think it's only right to ask you. Obviously, Natalie Sykes is going to be the main character, but if you're producing a feature film based around Natalie Sykes, which other British wrestlers are going to be sort of like the main antagonists or other background characters for you?
Ooh.
And what sort of film is it going to be? What sort of TV shows are going to be? What are we talking?
That's a good question. I think my main antagonists probably would be like Ivy or like Rio. I can't get rid of them. They're everywhere, and I have to wrestle them all the time, and they always just love to beat me up. So I have a feeling that they would probably be my biggest antagonists. The genre, maybe like a kind of artsy, like psychological horror film.
Nice.
Psychological thriller, something very cinematic.
Yeah, I like that. You can get plenty out of Ivy and Rio with that as well, especially with the baseball bat. You know, like lurking, like.
Yeah.
Nice, that'd be good. I like that. I think we've got a good film here. I think this has got to be done, right?
Yeah, I think someone should start writing this. Probably me.
Oh yeah, you've got to start writing it. This is it.
I should probably start writing
you producing, starring, directing. It's got to be the whole shebang.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. I mean, generally, is that something you'd like to do? Would you like sort of in terms of your work behind the camera, like, you know, not necessarily to do with like casting wrestlers, but like maybe produce something of your own, a film or like a little mini series or something?
Yeah, that's definitely up there on kind of my ambitions. It is something I've been lucky to kind of do at university, like write and direct like my own kind of short film projects and stuff like that. So it is definitely up there for stuff that I want to do in the future.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that's always good to hear. We've got another section on the show called What's in a Name. And this is simply like just sort of asking you shoot what it takes to be you in the ring. So yeah, what does it take if you're looking at it from the outside? What does it take to be Natalie Sykes?
To be Natalie Sykes, you definitely have to be kind of pop culture obsessed. I'd kind of describe it. I was born in the year 2000, which means that I kind of grew up without the internet and with the internet, and I kind of witnessed and lived the development of social media. And because I had internet access from such a young age, it did give me the opportunity to like find different subcultures and music and film and television, and just kind of really embrace pop culture. And also you have to at least spend 15 hours on TikTok a day. I think that's
minimum
priority. Lots of selfies, taking pictures of your food when you go out to a restaurant. I think is another big one.
Real social media star.
Yeah, just be a social media star. Be the main character of your own life.
Yeah, right in the limelight.
Yeah. Everyone on social media is watching you, so.
Love it. I love it. That's great. That's brilliant. Well, that sort of brings us on to, again, more shoot-based stuff in terms of our next feature, which is called Anatomy of a Pro Wrestler. And this is where we're going to learn a bit about you as a person as well outside the ring. So I'm just going to put you some questions. You let me know what comes to mind.
Okay.
So the first one is my favorite pre-show meal.
Pre-show meal. I always carry an emergency Kit Kat.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Are we talking like classic or the chunky ones?
Oh, like chunky, and they have to be the peanut butter ones as well.
Yes, that's a great shout. Great
Yeah.
shout. Big boost of energy from that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, on the opposite end of the spectrum, the next one is my favorite post-pinfall pig out.
So Tidal run a venue in Huddersfield called the Parish, and their food is incredible.
Is it?
Their food is so great. Just anything off that menu.
Yeah. What sort of stuff do they do?
They do like cheesy dough balls, like beer battered onion rings. Oh my god! You're getting me started now. I'm getting distracted. Yeah, that's probably the best place to kind of have food.
Nice.
But anywhere, because guaranteed there is like a couple of us on a show together that all travel back, and we will find somewhere. We'll find a McDonald's, and that can be just as good.
That's the classic, right? Isn't it? Like pit stop on the way home,
Yeah,
sort of thing. Yeah.
go to McDonald's. Yeah.
Nice. Well, the final sort of food based one is just your favorite food generally. You know.
Ooh, my favorite food. God, I love food. I really do love food. But the first thing that sprung to mind was a spaghetti carbonara.
Nice, classic.
It's a nice little meal.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Bit of garlic bread on the side.
Yeah, definitely have to have some garlic bread in there.
Nice. Where do you go garlic bread wise? Because so me and my partner differ very differently on this. Like she likes like the pizza bread, and I like the proper like almost like baguette ones that you get in the supermarket.
It depends. I don't think a cheesy garlic bread like pizza thing if we were ordering from like a takeaway. But if I'm just having like a spaghetti carbonara, the baguette one's fine. It's a classic. It's a staple.
Yeah, I like the crunch.
I would probably go baguette.
Yeah, nice. I'm glad to hear that. I'll let her know. She'll be very disappointed. Brilliant. The next one is the song that gets me the most hyped.
I think it fluctuates. I go through song phases a lot. I would have to say my own entrance music.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's
21st Century Liability by Youngblood. It gets very, very high.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's a great song. And then again, I imagine it's the case that, like a few people have said that as well. Like when you hear it, it's like it's time for you to get like amped up and like get out there.
Yeah.
Nice. The next one is your favorite band of all time. Doesn't have to be a band, it can be like a solo artist, but favorite musical act of all time.
Taking Back Sunday.
Oh, it's a great shout.
Taking Back Sunday is my favorite band.
Bit of emo rock, I love it.
Yeah.
Love that. I love that. Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, Taking Back. I haven't listened to Take Back Sunday in years.
Love Taking Back Sunday.
But that was it. Like growing up for me. That was like all that sort of era. Like Taking Back Sunday, MCR, and like all the classics, like classic emo rock. That's right. That's where it's at.
Definitely. It's also like kind of what I grew up with. Like my oldest brother, I think, was like a teenager when I was like a kid. So all his music is my music.
Yeah, I get that. I get it. Just what you've been brought up with, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that. The next one is the best gig I've ever been
to. In June, I went to the Hella Mega Tour.
Same, yes. I imagine you went to the Huddersfield one though, right?
I went to the Huddersfield one.
Yeah.
Weezer, Fall Out Boy, Green Day, best night of my life.
That was incredible.
Oh my god, they all had such amazing sets. I think I lost my voice during Fall Out Boy. Like it was so good. No, that was such a fun night.
That was a great tour. That really was. Like they all killed it. But you're right. Like Fall Out Boy were really like. I was gonna say over, but like that's a wrestling term. That's weird. That's stuck in there. But like, yeah, the crowd loved it. Like they almost got like as good a reaction as Green Day, which I was really surprised about in terms of the fact that you don't normally see that from like a support act. But like, they loved it. Like that was great. Yeah. And Weezer are great as well. Like
I had never seen Weezer or Green Day before. I've been lucky enough to see Fall Out Boy, and they always kill it. But I was so excited for Weezer, even more excited for Green Day. And
I know like the next one, as we get onto like film and TV, is the movie that I chose the locker room.
Depends which locker room I'm in.
Oh, does it?
I think it would depend who's there.
Mm.
So much like Liam can like give people ideas for characters and wrestling moves. If I see a person, I could probably give them a film that I think they'd like.
Right. Okay.
I think that's my kind of skill. That's
Okay.
my.
Well, let's go. We've discussed title, haven't we? Let's go title. Let's say you're in the title locker room, and
Okay.
everyone's sitting there, and like for some reason, it's a bizarre world where like everyone's sitting in the locker room, and they've decided that it's your turn to pick a film for you guys to watch before the show starts.
It would probably be some kind of action film. Maybe Old Boy. Maybe the original Old Boy.
Yeah.
I think I'd show them that. That's
Nice.
something different, something kind of gory, action-packed. I think a lot of them would like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good shout. That's like very out there as well. Like not a lot of people would say that. I like that. I like that. Nice one. The next one is my favorite way to relax.
My favorite way to relax. Probably listen to music. Maybe even scroll through TikTok. That sounds so sad. Just like chill out, lay in bed, listen to something.
Right.
Something.
Nice. Who was it? I can't remember who we had on the show recently. It might have been Hyan, who we had on the show recently. And she was like, I didn't know about this, but apparently you might know about it. But like, apparently there's this thing on TikTok where you're scrolling and there's like a notification that comes up being like, you've been scrolling for a while. Are you sure you don't want to take a break?
Yeah, it's like if you scroll for a while, it shows you a TikTok of like someone who's been like just staring at their phone screen, like walking through the house, and it's like, don't forget to take a break from your phone screen, you know? Like,
that's when you know you've been on it a bit too long. If you reach that.
And it's always at like 3 a.m. when you're still on TikTok. They show you it, and it's kind of like their way of saying, like, just go to bed, just go to sleep. It's time.
See, I can't do TikTok because I have like, I might not. It's just in my head that I feel like I have quite an addictive personality. So I feel like if I start scrolling on TikTok, I won't stop. You know what I mean? It will get to that stage.
Yeah.
So I just sort of avoid it because I'm like, no, I know what I'm like. Like little like 30-second videos, that is my downfall.
And I can't even tell you that that's not true because that's absolutely true, and that's exactly what's happened to me.
just hooks you in because you're like, oh, it's only 30 seconds. I'll watch another one.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 hours. Brilliant. The next one is a bit of a throwback because it's my first job.
My first job, I worked in Lush.
Oh, nice.
It was like a Christmas temp job.
Okay.
That was my first job.
How did you find it?
It was all right. Lush is a weird one. It smells great. But when you have to like, it is like kind of a meme where it's like you walk into Lush and all the staff are just rubbing your hands with soap. And yeah, I definitely see it, but it's definitely what we're kind of told to do in terms of you have to speak to everyone. And
I hope it's what you're told to do. I hope that staff in Lush just don't go up and like start moisturising you without being told to do that.
It is kind of what you're told to do, but you can like see it on people's faces that they just do not want to be bothered. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I have to do this. I have to.
That's especially Christmas time as well. I think a Christmas retail job is really thrown in the deep end in terms of first jobs.
Yeah, because it's just so busy.
Yeah. Like, what am I doing?
It was a great team. So
yeah, that's fair enough. You enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's the most important thing, isn't it? Nice one. Next one is if I wasn't a wrestler, I'd be. And I'm fairly sure I know where the answer's going to go with this one.
Probably working in film and television.
There we go. Is there any like sort of, again, we talked about wrestling, but like, you know, shoot job wise, are there any specific places you like have been like, oh, I'd love to work there, or I'd love to do something like this?
I would love to work in more scripted content. The stuff that I deal with is mainly unscripted. I'd love to work more in like scripted stuff and more films. I'd love to be a part of more feature films.
Nice, that'd be cool. We were talking about it as well, but I think we do need to do a thing because there are so many wrestlers that work in TV to like one project that can like bring them all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. The next one is my favorite animal.
Hedgehogs.
Nice, that's cute.
I like hedgehogs. I really like hedgehogs.
They're pretty adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all animals.
Especially if you've got a garden. Like, if you've got a garden, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can have seen, like, scurrying around. But, like, well, I live in London, so the chances of me having a garden are very slim. Like, there's just no chance of that at all. But that's cool. I like that. Like, hedgehogs are a good choice. I always go red panda, personally.
Very good.
They're pretty adorable. And then I'm always disappointed, because, like, whenever I go to the zoo and they say they'll have them, they're always, like, sleeping. And I'm like, it's the reason I came.
Yeah.
What was that? Next one. The next one gets a little bit deep, because it's my greatest fear.
Okay, and I know... Okay, hear me out.
And this is going to be interesting to start off. When you start like that, it's...
I'm terrified of underwater statues.
Okay, that is very niche. That is very niche.
It's terrifying. Please don't send me pictures of them. I will cry. It's terrifying. I hate the thought of it. Absolutely.
I see. So statues on land is fine.
Statues on land, yeah, go for it.
And underwater, no statues. So where did that stem from then? Because that's I don't think I've ever seen a statue underwater. Like, so where does that come from?
So I think I was probably on like Twitter or something. You know, there's lots of those pages where it's like, wow, this is so cool. Look at this, and it was like this 18-foot statue in the Bahamas, maybe. Absolutely not. Because just imagine, you don't know it's there, and you're like just swimming around, and like your foot kind of grazes the top, and you're like, what's that? And you look down, 18-foot statue.
Okay, to be fair.
Of a person.
Especially if like the thing you see first is like a head or a hand, and you're like, what the fuck?
Don't.
No, I get you now. I get you. Yeah, that needed some explaining, but I understand that, because that would be terrifying. But like, I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen a statue underwater. Who even builds that? Who's building that?
Exactly. What is that for? The fish? I don't think they care. Okay, it's terrifying, and I don't want anything to do with it.
You don't know. Maybe the fish do care. Maybe the fish are like, oh, have you seen that? That's so cool. Look at that. Fish are really arty. I've heard that. But like, how do you even go about constructing that? Well, you just got some like builders in like a scuba suits, like.
I don't know. I think maybe they make it online and like
just drop it in.
Yeah, and see where it ends up.
You'd be really annoyed if you did that and you just dropped it in the sea and it breaks, like cracks on the bottom. All that work. No, I get that. That's fair enough. That makes sense, because I think that would be terrifying. I think you're right. It's just something I've never heard before.
Terrifying. I don't want any part of it.
No, that's fair enough. A few wrestling-based ones next. The next one is sort of like a two-parter, because it's my favourite match. And so I'm going to ask for the favourite match you've been in and your favourite match that you've watched.
My favourite match that I've...
It doesn't have to be like technically the best match, you know, like in terms of proficiency. Just like the one that you'd always go to as like your favourite.
I think it would be a Survivor Series match. And I think it's like Team DX, and it's like DX and Matt and Jeff Hardy, and I think CM Punk, and then I think it's Team Rated RKO.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That's a good match. Survivor Series matches are always classic. Like, if you want to go like gimmicks, like Survivor Series or a Rumble or Money in the Bank, like great gimmick matches.
Yeah.
Nice. Survivor Series, I always go to the Ziggler one. With Sting, just because the story behind that was like great. Like the story behind that was so good, and Ziggler's great, and like for him to get that moment was cool. What about your favorite match that you've had?
I've been in. There's a couple, because I think every time I wrestle sort of the same people, and we kind of do gel quite well. You always have like a really fun match. Annoyingly, one of my favorite matches was, I don't think there's any footage of it. I wrestled Eliza Rue.
Oh, yeah.
At Future. I'm not sure there's any footage of it. I think it was like a Halloween match. And yeah, I don't think there's any footage of it. But I just remember really enjoying that match. Nice. And I don't think, there's no proof that it ever happened.
Did it ever happen? That's the thing. You just make it up. And there's no proof anywhere that match ever occurred.
I've definitely seen the match graphic. Whether or not actually happened in the ring, I'm not quite sure.
You just dreamed it. That was it.
Yeah.
It's such a good match. Loved it.
Such a great match.
Brilliant. The next one, let's say in person here, not like on TV or anything, because it's the loudest pop I've ever heard.
God, I have the worst memory. Where have I ever been? I think I might be remembering this wrong, but I think BWR recently I was at, and they showed a video package for the next show, the anniversary show, that I think announced Kip Sabian's return.
Right, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that got a very loud pop.
Yeah, that would do. Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah, Kip's a big guy, isn't he? Like people like him. Well, people don't like him, but they like that he's back.
Yeah.
Nice one. And the final wrestling one is my favorite venue to wrestle in.
The Parish in
Yeah,
Huddersfield.
not just for the food.
Just for the food. Yeah.
That's all.
Temple of Boom. Charlie used to run Temple of Boom in Leeds, and I used to love that venue.
Yeah.
They also did really good food.
Nice. I think that's key, isn't it? Like, you know, if someone does good food, it just automatically gives it like 5 extra points.
Yeah.
Nice. A couple more. The next one is it's my favorite place in the world.
It's gotta be Leeds, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, not for me. Not for you, I imagine. Yeah.
For me, it's absolutely Leeds.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I probably should have picked a more interesting place.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Home is where the heart is, as they say, right?
That's true. I think like Japan, Japan would be up there. It's kind of, I've never been. I would really love to go. And I feel like if I went, that would just be my favorite place ever.
Yeah. Well, that you sort of answered the final question, because the final question is my dream holiday destination.
Yeah, it would be Japan.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Japan.
Could you go without it, with it being just a holiday though, or would you want to wrestle? Would you be like, oh no, I've got to get in the ring?
I would love to wrestle in Japan. Absolutely would love to wrestle in Japan. So I wouldn't mind if I could blend a trip to Japan to work and also kind of look around and be a bit touristy. That would be my absolute dream.
Nice. Something else I want to ask, we talk about favourite place in the world, and something that I'd always been curious about with yourself is on your like social media with like your location, you put Leeds and then you put like, I guess it's Houston, Texas as well?
It is.
So where does that come from?
That's actually where I was born.
Oh, okay.
So I was born in Houston and I lived there kind of for a bit and then moved to Leeds.
Okay, how old were you when you moved here?
7 or 8, I think.
Alright. How was that in terms of like, is culture shock the right word? They're both like sort of westernized countries, but like, was it a big difference? Because I mean, Houston just generally is massive anyway. Let's get that out of the way. Like, so like, I imagine that's a bit different. But
I remember being very much like, everyone's gonna talk like, you know, your typical accent. You know, I'm gonna have crumpets with the Queen or whatever. And then we landed, and I was like, "What is this?"
This is not what I expected.
This is not what I wanted.
Just that culture shock of like, not everyone in England speaks like that.
Yeah, it's like we're in the north, so get used to it.
What about yourself and like your accent? Did that sort of like change over time or anything? Like, did you have a far different accent, I imagine? Yeah,
I remember when I was in primary school, I obviously had a very strong Texas accent, which everyone just absolutely wanted to hear more of. And then because I enjoy talking to people and I enjoy talking, when I like talk to people, I kind of like develop their accent, and I think I just being sociable with people, just picking up their accent, I think that changed mine. But I have been told that sometimes the American accent does come out accidentally sometimes. So
okay, maybe. Do you go back to Houston at all? Like, do you ever like go back and visit?
I was due to go back and visit and potentially wrestle, but COVID happened and ruined everything for everyone.
We got to get you back out there then, right?
Yeah, it is definitely something that I'm looking to do. Hashtag spoiler alert.
I was just wondering in terms of like if you'd gone back and like sort of people are like, oh, you're from here, but like you don't have the accent. What happened to the accent?
Yeah, the accent got dropped because I just enjoy talking to people and listening to people, and yeah, it just happens.
Was there a moment for yourself when you realised that, where you're like, I don't sound like I used to sound?
I'm not sure because as much as you kind of listen to yourself when you're speaking, I can't like go back and listen to how I sounded. So the transition was kind of smooth. Like there wasn't really a pinpoint where I went, oh, and now we're from Leeds.
No,
like, it just kind of blended. And
I am now Yorkshire.
Yeah, now I am Yorkshire.
Love it. Love it. Well, if you don't mind me asking, what was the reason for moving in the first place? Was it like work or something for family?
No, it was just my mum's side of the family were all Leeds based.
Okay.
So we went to Leeds.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I imagine that's and now it's your favourite place.
And I couldn't dream of being anywhere else, you know.
There you go. Leeds over Houston is what we've
Leeds
learned
over
here.
Houston.
Whataburger less than, I don't know, what's a classic Leeds thing? What's a classic Leeds staple food? Like a classic Yorkshire staple food? I don't know.
Sunday roast, the Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah, Yorkshire pudding over Whataburger. Like those Yorkshire wraps you see.
I would agree with that.
That's the thing there, isn't it? Those like wraps you see in Yorkshire puddings now, they're really like hipster.
So good.
They are good.
That being said, I really miss, so America has this fast food like chain called Sonic.
Yeah.
And I really miss Sonic.
I've never had Sonic, but I hear a lot of people talk about it. And I'm like, if it's so good, why has no one brought it over here?
Yeah, I did Google to see if there was one, so there must be by now. And there was one, and it came up, and I think it said it was in like Birmingham or something.
Oh.
Oh wow! But it was like there's some place in America called Birmingham or something.
Oh, okay. That's disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the heartbreaking moment. You get the high, and you're like, and then you're just ruined for it.
Yeah.
No, well, Sonic, if you're watching, come back. Come over to the UK. London for myself, or Leeds for Natalie. Either one. We'll work it out. I'll be fine. Brilliant. Well, Natalie Sykes, thank you so much for coming on the Grapple Theory podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course. It's been great fun. And we always end by giving our guest one final bit of promo time. So, if anyone sees you on a match poster or follows you on social media and you're wrestling near them and they want to come and check you out, why is Natalie Sykes going to steal the show for the rest of 2022, moving into 2023, and whatever comes after that?
That would be because I am the main character. I'm going to act like it, and all eyes will be on me.